crank it up to 11 because our world is about to be turned upside down again. That's right, the second season of breakout horror series Stranger Things arrives on Netflix October 27th. But before we get into the new characters and monsters, The Hollywood Reporter's Josh Wigler is prepping us with 11 things, an appropriate number, we need to know before we head into season 2. Let's start refreshing our memories by diving into a few right now. Plus, we'll tell you what THR critic Daniel Feinberg has to say about season 2. He's actually seen the whole thing already, and we don't hate him at all for that. The series begins in 1983 in Hawkins, Indiana, where nothing exciting really happens. Oh wait, there are these cracks in the fabric of existence that lead to another dimension, a dark shadow universe called the Upside Down. Oh, and there's an evil monster, aka the Demogorgon there, which makes it unfortunate that a boy named Will Byers ends up trapped in the Upside Down, which draws in his BFFs Mike, Lucas, and Dustin, who are determined to rescue him. Enter 11, a young girl who just escaped from the nearby Hawkins National Laboratory. Her likes include Eggo waffles, but she strongly dislikes the lab agents chasing her and killing witnesses along the way. Will's pals and 11 aren't the only ones on the case. The adults in the room are Sheriff Jim Hopper and Will's mother Joyce, who refuses to believe her son is dead even when she sees a body. Other players to keep in mind, Will's older brother Jonathan and Mike's older sister Nancy, who juggle awkward romantic tension while fighting the Demogorgon, as you do. There's also Steve, the coolest kid in school, who's also kind of a jerk, but he eventually comes around to the good guy's side. Everyone plays a part in Will's rescue in their own way, but it all comes down to 11, who steps up to the monster and seems to telekinetically destroy him. But she disappears herself in the process. Meanwhile, Joyce and Hopper travel into the Upside Down, where they find Will and bring him back home. As the first season wraps, everyone's much happier, except Mike's missing 11 and, Will's vomiting what appears to be a baby Demogorgon into the sink. Ew. And that leads us into season 2. Here's what we know, says Wigler. It's taking place in Hawkins again with more Upside Down exploration. And there's a shadowy monster looming, seemingly visible only to Will. Plus, we have some new characters, Paul Reiser and Sean Astin, as well as Sadie Sink and Dacre Montgomery as Max and Billy respectively, the new kids in town. Showrunners the Duffer Brothers have described season 2 as an expansion and escalation of the world and themes they gave us in season 1. But how is Stranger Things 2? According to THR critic Daniel Feinberg, who's seen the whole thing, still not bitter about that, says Stranger Things 2 is, dun dun dun, quite good. And he says it's largely satisfying as long as you keep your expectations in check. We'll try, Feinberg. We'll try. He goes on to point out, the Duffer Brothers fall into very few traps of self-importance or self-awareness, and they deliver a second season with an expanded assortment of 80s influences, an expanded cast of instantly embraceable characters, and some expanded Stranger Things mythology without the bloat that inevitably dooms sequels. Speaking of those 80s influences, the critic tells us this season contains overt nods to Gremlins and particularly Aliens, with Reiser's presence and at least one direct dialogue quote. Head to thr.com/Stranger Things for Daniel Feinberg's full review and Josh Wigler's 11 things to know before watching Stranger Things 2. Plus a ton more from Wigler as the week goes on, including interviews, theories, and deep dives. But first, head to the comments and let us know what you're most looking forward to in the second season. But before that, click right here to subscribe to THR News so you never miss another story. For The Hollywood Reporter News, I'm Neha Joy.